All right. I'm having a little difficulty getting set up here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Friday night. It is 7 p.m., and that only means one thing. It is time for our weekly 1 hour live stream. Wolf, how are you doing this week, my friend? Milan, how are you doing? You are up late. Wasn't expecting to see you here. How's everyone's week been? Mine was kind of long and drawn out. I'm glad it's over. So, on the shelf this week, we have Titanic, we have Olympic, and we have the Queen with us. So, having said all of that, we've got a little bit of news this week. Bill, what's up, Bill Keys? So we got a little bit of news this week, not much compared to last week. So if you guys remember, we started off last week talking about how a barge hit like a causeway in Galveston, and this bridge was the only way to access the road to go to the Galveston Naval Museum. Well, I believe it was announced on Monday or Tuesday that bridge has reopened, and therefore you can go to the museum again should you choose to do so. Now, another piece of news worth mentioning is the fact that the USS North Carolina Museum is going to be getting a new I forget the guy's title, executive director. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Eric, welcome to the stream, my friend. How are you doing? How has your week been? Milan, my week was rather great because I only had 2 days of work. Nice. I wish that I could say the same, but alas, I cannot. So, Milan, you picked the right week to come hang out with us because we're doing something a little different here. If you guys recall, a while back, Matt, who is, I'm not sure if Matt's joining us this evening or not in the chat, but he bought me a game, and this is the game, Titanic VR. And if you guys remember, we kind of messed around with it a little bit. Didn't really get to do much with it a whole lot that first go around because I didn't really understand the mechanics of the game. So I've been messing around with it a bit more since, and now I've got a better idea of what to of how to navigate in the game. So this week we are going to explore the wreck virtually, and this time we're going to be able to go inside the ship. Eric, doing well, thanks. Looking forward to the 3 day weekend. Oh, you lucky dog. I, on the other hand, do not have a 3 day weekend. Milan, my good luck strikes again. Think I'm going to enjoy this stream a lot. Well, I certainly hope so. I hope all you guys will enjoy this stream. So, we're going to be doing what we're going to be doing. And actually, you know what? I need to also mention for those you who watched the anniversary stream, we did this right here, the experience. And that was like a little 15-minute thing of people evacuating the ship and watching the sinking in like a very, very accelerated time. So, what we're going to be doing this time is we're going to do the sandbox mode. Because I messed around with this part where you play the game and you've got to go through this story and all that stuff. And that might be cool for another time, but I really want to just focus on exploring the ship. And like I said, we can go inside the ship this time, whereas we couldn't do that last time. So, excuse me. I'm going to quit rambling here, and we are going to go straight into this. So, got my my headset here, so I can hear what's going on. So let's do this. We're going to do the bow section, obviously, because with the stern, there's really probably not a whole lot you can see. It's just, you go around the outside of the stern, and that's pretty much it. So, let's see. Let's turn on the lights, if we can. Milana, I spent dozens of hours in this game. Pretty sure I explored every possible area in the wreck at least twice. Wow. This will be my first time on camera going into the wreck on screen. Okay, so the lights are already on. So, let's start making our way there. The controls in this game are a little bit clunky as well. So yeah, like I said, I did mess around with it for a little bit, but there were certain areas in the ship I did not go. So Milan, if you've played this before, you might be able to point out some cool stuff that I have not previously seen. Is that something on the sea floor right here? Or is it just a big rock or something? I wonder if that's debris. Whoops, touched bottom. I'm guessing that's maybe just a rock or something. The controls were designed for VR. That explains the clunkiness. That makes sense. Oh, we're already right here at the bow. Nathan, what's up? How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a bit. So we're, how you're getting close because the ground gets higher. Huh. Seeing her coming out of the darkness like a ghost ship gets me every time. Yeah, so it is just a rock. Okay. So here we go. We're at the bow. The bow section doesn't feature much debris around. The stern section mode does. Yeah, okay. That's good to know. You can barely see anything. Yeah, dark game. Yeah. Because it looks fine on my screen. Doing good now that the cars are fixed. Well, that's good. I'm glad to see that, Nathan. Yeah, it's a dark game, Wolf. So Fortunately, I don't know if there's a whole lot I can do about that. Maybe if you're in a room with the lights on, turn out the lights. That might help you a bit. So let's do a cruise around the bow here before we go over the ship. Scroll up with your mouse. It'll get the camera closer to the window. Oh, look at that. Cool. Thanks for the tip. I did not know you could do that. So how's that, guys? Is that better? Are you able to see the ship better now? I certainly feel like we can. I bet it's pretty cool to do. Milan, did you do this in VR? Oh, look, some type of jellyfish or something right here. Nathan says it's good. Okay, nice. Well, that's way better. Excellent. Yeah, so here we are. We're at the well deck. Now, one thing I was never sure on about this game, Milan, maybe you can help me or clarify this for me. Does this game portray how the wreck looked in like 2016 or 17 when this game was made? Or is it portraying how the wreck looked in 1985 when the wreck was discovered? No, unfortunately, I don't have a VR set. I wish I did. I do too. And this would be the only reason I would want a VR set. So, unfortunately, I can't justify spending, however much money it's going to cost to get a VR set, just for this one game. And so another reason why we're doing the sandbox mode is because when you do the story mode, the little ROV, it only goes like 15 meters away from your submersible, and I don't want to be limited to that because then we can only explore so much. And so we're already getting to where the breakup happened. VR is cool for a lot of games, especially driving or flight simulators. Oh yeah, and no doubt, and I'm certain it would be great for this game as well. Like I said, I can't justify spending the money because this is the only game I would probably use it on. Let's see. The wreck in this game is closer to the 80s, 90s because you can still see that the mast is still stretching over the well deck. It collapsed by the 2010s. Okay. Yeah, that's true. And I know the crow's nest has been gone for a while, too. Now, I seem to remember last time we did this, you could see, I think you could see some of the boilers here in the back section. This sub moves really, really slow. I mean, that's a good thing if you're like really in this environment in real life, but we're not. So let's get a close view. I think I see the boilers coming into view right here. This is boiler room number 2. Okay. You can see, look how the decks are just collapsed upon it. What other games do you guys would like to see, like in this type of like a simulator? What other shipwrecks would you think would be a good idea for them to to make a game like this for. All right, let's go up. A Britannic wreck sim would be very cool. You know, that would be one of the main ones that I would be interested in. The problem I think with a Britannic one would be with the Britannic laying on its side. I have a feeling that going in and exploring inside the wreck would kind of be a bit disorienting. I'd be interested in seeing the USS Johnston, the Bismarck. I think would be another interesting because both of those are still upright. Lusitania is almost as flat as a pancake, so I don't think Lusitania would make for a good one. Would it be hard to model? Would it be hard to model what, Nathan? The like the Titanic as it is as like a wreck? I think a USS Hornet, Lexington, and Yorktown wreck would be cool to see. Agreed. So Wolf, I was looking through a group the other day, and I shared a a picture of my kid model, and someone did a conversion of I'm guessing it's the same Sullivan's model to the Johnston, and they did a fantastic job on it. Nathan, the one on their sides. It's probably not hard to model, Nathan. If we're talking about just the outside, I mean, maybe the way to do it would be to model the thing right side up and then tilt it over onto its side before you do the before you release the game. How about an Edmund Fitzgerald? That would be interesting. So let's see. This always gives me a sense of idea where I'm at. I can always pinpoint the first class entrance and the gymnasium. So this is where we're at right here. Now I imagine this right here after the gym, this section's probably getting even worse and worse. I have a feeling we're going to get to a point where, pretty much the bow is going to be the only recognizable part of the ship at some point. What's your thoughts on the oversized load I showed you today? You think it would be a piece to a bridge or something? I'm. Your guess is as good as mine, Nathan. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. All right, so there's the Welling Davit still in its last position. Murdoch stood right here till the very end. So since I've got both of my fellow model builders in here, are you guys working on anything in particular right now? And it took up the whole intersection when it passed by me. And so there's all the plaques that people have put on the bridge. One of the things I'm very sad about is we cannot access Boiler Room 6 and the swimming pool. They are not modeled in the game either. I've tried every possible approach to get to them. Well, and that's it's a bummer, but they're staying accurate to real life, as we know, and we're going to see that is the you can't access the swimming pool because of the fact that it is it's behind that bulkhead that's closed. So here's the two cargo hatches. I'm working on HMS Dreadnought. Okay, that's true. You've been posting about that one in the Discord. Oop, I think I just hit the. I think I just hit the ship. All right, so let's make our way over to the grand staircase, and we are going to land the sub and launch the ROV. It's too bad you can't access the officers' quarters either, because I mean it's kind of wide open right here. See, all underneath here on the boat deck, this would be the officers' quarters. Whoops, did it again. You can see Smith's bathtub right. If you look, I don't know if the mouse is going to work. No. Right there is Smith's bathtub. It'd be great if you could go into the wireless room as well. You can access it somewhat. Which part specifically, Milan? Can you go into the wireless room? I would think the ROV is probably too big for that. I would think. Go to the grand staircase and go forward. The wireless room is. Oh, so we can go into the wireless room. Okay, so here's where the first funnel would have been. So let me zoom out for a sec so I can see the map. I need to see where I'm at. I think we need to go. Need to descend. I can't see the ship anymore. Let me turn around here. Oh, I'm at the second funnel base, so. So then I need to be going forward. Let's see. Um, I think it'll be fine, Milan. We're gonna figure it out. I got the grand staircase right here. I don't know. I just had a brain fart or something where I passed it up and kind of got lost there for a minute. So we're gonna park right here. So I'm pretty sure this is where I parked last night when I was going through it. Okay. So here we go. And we're going to descend down. So this would be going towards the officers' quarters. Let's see. Oh, you can switch between the sub and the ROV with the space bar. Okay. All right. So we're in somebody's, one of the officers' cabins. Wasn't Lighthauler's cabin on the port side? Wow, look at that big gap right there. Yep, here we are, guys. We're in the wireless room. Look at that. We look straight up. There's our sub. So I'm sure we've discussed this before, but while it's on the brain again, what is everyone's opinion on retrieving the Marconi equipment? I personally am in favor of retrieving it. See, this is where Bryden Phillips would have slept. Wolf, I think they should retrieve it. No reason to try to preserve a wreck that's already falling apart by itself. That's my opinion as well, Wolf. What's in here? I mean, I think it's a major historical artifact, and I believe it's better to save it than just let it go. And once the ship eventually collapses upon itself, once that happens, forget it. We're out of chances to retrieve anything. Hold on, I'm leaning towards cutting into the wreck to retrieve it. I believe enough time has passed where retrieving it would serve keeping Titanic's memory alive rather than letting it rot away down there. I agree. And obviously, it has to be put into a museum. That's the only acceptable situation where it could be retrieved. I also think we should cut the watertight door to check out the swimming pool. I don't know if that's a possibility, Milan. Um, would you would you risk, because the ship is so corroded right now? Would you risk, um, the upper decks collapsing upon themselves? Is that thing? How much is that support is that door providing to the structure around it? I guess I may not be phrasing this correctly, but 'cause, I mean everything is so fragile right now as it is. Okay, so here we are. We're out here. We're pretty much all the way forward again. We're on the bridge right now, so let's make our way back. Is there a way to auto recall the ROV back to the sub without having to go all the way back? I don't believe the door would make that much of a change. Well, it's like I don't think we'll ever know because how would you even get equipment down there, the appropriate type of equipment to even perform that? There is a button, yes, okay. But you still gotta wait it out until. Okay, no, I was like basically wanting it to like respawn at the sub. All right, so back at the grand staircase. So let's go down. Here's A deck. Let's go down to B deck. I want to check out Ismay's rooms. So as we, yeah, that's a bummer. No respawn. Okay, so you can't access anything beyond this. I was kind of hoping to check out Ismay's rooms. Chandelier still hanging. All these jellyfish. I'm assuming this is stuff that's actually down there at the bottom of the, maybe even inside the wreck. Yeah, you can only see the door of B-52. That's a bummer. Look at this fleshy jellyfish looking thing. So what we can do, this is C deck. We can see the purser's office. And here we go. Here's C deck. You can check out C55 and 57. Okay. So yeah, here's the purser's office. Oh, we can get in there too. The Strauss suite, on which the movie's B-52 was based on in terms of design. All right. Oops. So let's see. Yep, here we go. We can go in here. Ah, Cameron's clock. So this room must have went under at two, like looks like 204. This room must have flooded at 2:04 because you can see that's the last position of the clock. What's everyone's plans? Well, you might not have any plans, Milan, but Memorial Day. Anybody's got any plans for Memorial Day? It is Memorial Day weekend. All right, so let's go down the D deck. Oh, look, some type of deep sea crab here. Makes you wonder how marine life has found its way into the ship. Milan, Memorial Day is an American holiday that's every year at the end of May, where we basically we honor our fallen members of the armed forces. All right, so here's D deck reception. Like we kind of mark the beginning and the end of summer with holidays. We kick off summer with Memorial Day, and we end it with Labor Day. Well, if I don't have any plans besides playing games, I guess. Well, any particular games, Wolf? What are you playing right now? Been hooked on Fallout. Okay. Here's one of the big hatch doors right here. The D deck one. Of course, we know on the opposite side of the ship, one of those was left open during the sinking, which of course accelerated the sinking. Let's go over there and see if that's open. You guys are going to laugh at this, but I've been playing this game, Supermarket Simulator. I've played the crap out of it the last few weeks. My plans for the weekend will be to build my Dreadnought model and also play Helldivers 2. I'm going to try and get some work done on 433. I'm not looking forward to summer. I can't stand the 100-degree days. See, we have 100-degree days and we have 100-degree or 100% humidity to match it. It's like take Hoth and Tatooine and Star Wars and put them together. Okay, so either this is not correct or I'm looking at the wrong door. We all know one of the doors was left open on D deck, and I always thought it was this door. I could be wrong. Eric, I'm with you, Wolf Lord. See, I've not been in here on D deck. In case you wonder, I'm not trying to go into the D deck dining area because I've already tried that and it's blocked off. So this would have been somebody's stateroom. Ozzy, welcome. It says it's supposed to be starboard side. Are you referring to the door I was just talking about, Ozzy? Last summer we had several days of like 110 degrees. Yeah, we've had a number of those as well, Wolf. And like I said, we've got horrible, horrible humidity here too. I remember walking around outside and just feeling exhausted from the heat because it's just so hot. Ozzy, how's your week? Are you having any plans for Memorial Day weekend? So here's the lifts. It's kind of hard to see if that's the roof of the lift right there at the bottom. I never knew what position they got stuck in. So you can actually explore more of the interior of the ship than I originally thought. I figured you'd have Ozzy just fine, relaxing. Yep, I hear you. I'm gonna after the stream's over, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna relax myself with a few cool carbonated beverages. So, days like that make me enjoy those winter days. Well, I love winter. I'm a big, big fan of winter. Let's go look at the entrance to the D deck dining area before we descend down to E deck. Well, really, we need to go to F deck to get to the watertight door that's closed and the Turkish baths. Because I have not yet explored the Turkish baths on the ship, and as we know in real life, those are the most well-preserved spots on the ship. So, guys, this is the thumbnail for the stream this week, too. I snapshotted this right here. And see, you've got an invisible barrier here. You cannot go into the dining area. So let's make our way down to let's go down to F deck. The game does a great job of recreating the Turkish baths. Well, that's good to know. And I realize I'm moving kind of fast through this. Milan, if there's anything I'm kind of skipping over. Oh, look, there's another one of those fleshy-looking jellyfishes. If you notice anything I've skipped over that we should look at, be sure to let me know. So here's the stairwell down to F deck. This ROV must be very small to be able to fit into these spots, and you can see I'm still bumping into stuff. Could you imagine if in real life, if they ever went down to the USS Johnston and tried to go inside the ship like they're doing with the Titanic here? Could you imagine how small that that ROV would have to be? Because a World War II destroyer, the corridors and the doorways and all that's going to be so much smaller than on an ocean liner like Titanic. 4 weeks from now, I'll go to a hotel which has a Turkish bath. I've never seen one before, but I'm definitely trying it out because of Titanic. Well, if you can, share. Well, not share, but let us tell us about the experience. Put it that way. So yeah, here's the watertight door that's closed, that's blocking access to the swimming pool. So here we go. We're going into the Turkish baths. And I'm seeing this for the first time. There's that domed piece here over the doorway, one of the more recognizable parts. They say all this tile is in really good shape. Now, I could be wrong, but did they not get... Has some of this tile from the Turkish bath been recovered? The thing you miss is you should go back to the forward well deck hatches, the descend from there down to E deck. From there you can see part of Scotland Road. Okay. The pools are still full on Titanic. Ha ha. I think they should recover one of these dome-looking deals. I don't know what you call them. Yeah, I imagine you probably can't get in there. No. Someone left the water running. All right, so here we have it. That's the Turkish baths. Well, let's do that. Let's, if there's nothing else really of significance for us to see in this section, we can go down there and we'll go into the hatch area like you said, and then we'll take a quick look at Scotland Road, and we'll probably call it from there. Because we're almost to the 1 hour mark anyway. Eric, it won't be too long, and they'll have ROVs miniaturized enough to get into the destroyers. That would be. I'd love to know what type of technology it would take to make one, because the Johnston. Can someone Google this real quick? How deep is the Johnston? Because I know it's considerably deeper than Titanic. All right, so we're going to put 21,180 feet. And Titanic's 2,500 miles deep, so... No, 2 miles deep, excuse me. And Milan's 6.460 miles. So it's it's almost like 4 times the length or depth of Titanic. Check me on my math, guys. Math is the reason I don't have a college degree, so I could be way off on that. All right, let's take off, and we're gonna go to the hatches. I always thought it was. Wait, I always thought Titanic was 2.5 miles deep. Milan's saying, oh, you're talking in meters. I thought you, I misread your comment. So, yeah, I've been misreading you, Milan. The Johnston's 6,460 meters deep. Titanic is 3,800. While you are at the forward well deck hatch area, you can also check out the post office from there if you're okay. USS Johnston lying 20,000 feet. All right, that's the breakwater, so we can land right here on the forecastle. So we're pretty much, you can see the hatch is right there. So we're going to land right here by the breakwater. Oh, nope, let's go up. So let's launch right here. Whoa, what happened there? Okay, so we are free. We are free and clear to navigate. The forward hatch, Milan, or the aft hatch? Because you know we've got the two hatches here on the well deck. Well, let's try this one. Let's try the aft hatch, because that would probably be closer to Scotland Road. Okay, yeah, the aft one. So this should be D deck. We've got a stairwell right there. So this should go down to E deck. And we should have Scotland Road right in this area, I believe. The USS Johnston is the deepest shipwreck. That's what I thought. Okay, so this is blocked off here. Let's see. That's blocked off there. That's where the hull plating is separated from the rest of the ship. I'd imagine this is crew quarters here. Yeah, this is all blocked off. Can't get through here. Let's see if we can get down these next flight of steps. So we can't get down there. Let's see if we can get down here. See, this should be F deck here. Milan says Scotland Road's blocked off in real life too. So this is F deck. Wolf, this almost looks like a horror game, right? You know, I imagine for the people who experienced this, it was a horror movie played out in real life. Before they found the Johnston, Titanic was the deepest. How deep is Bismarck? Is Bismarck deeper? Is it Bismarck deeper than Titanic? Oh, look, I'm live. Imagine that. Oh, what do we have here? Bismarck, 15,000 feet, 4,572. So, yeah, Bismarck is deeper than Titanic. Now, and if memory serves, Bismarck, Robert Ballard discovered Bismarck, and he discovered it after he discovered Titanic. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think there's much else left to see. Well, if I'm guessing you, by your description of it looking like a horror movie, you've never seen this before, and neither have I, so. Milan, I am correct. Yeah, referring to my comment about Biscuit or Bismarck being deeper and being discovered after the fact. Oh, wow, look at this, guys. Check this out. June 8th, 1989, Bismarck was found. Ozzy says. And Milan Ballard found Biscuit 4 years after Titanic. So here we are, guys. This was one of the first rooms to flood. Right here, the mail room. I wonder how brittle this wood is. I wonder if it would just crumble if you even consider, you would try to take something out of it, a fragment or something. See if there's anything further up front. Wolf says Bismarck's wreck is surprisingly good shape given what happened to her. I think some of it with these wrecks also, how good they're preserved has to do with, where in the world they're sunk and, what are some of the, I don't know if this is the right word, like marine conditions that the ship is in. It's funny to me how Britannic is in way better shape than Titanic, and though she's in much more shallow water, And is it Johnston also very well preserved too? And it's included as well as Bismarck, and they're both further down than Titanic is. So I don't think there's anything else for us to see here. I think we've seen about everything there is. Moonzer, welcome, my friend. How are you doing? How has your week been, buddy? You got any plans for Labor Day weekend? Milan, Biscuit's entire bridge and mast is gone, as well as his stern and the funnel. Broke his back while landing on the seafloor. Didn't he spiral? Biscuit spiraled down to the seafloor. Ozzy, yes, Johnson, but Johnson has battle damage too, of course. But Milan, is there anything worth looking at that we haven't seen yet? I thought we just were we not just in the mailroom? I'm kind of turned around right now. I will admit that. So I'm gonna hang out right here, Milan, and let you. I'm gonna. There is a delay, so I'm gonna let you catch up with me. Moonser, yes, I'm going to Geneva on the Lake. Very nice, very nice. I hope you have a good time and enjoy that, my friend. This wrought iron gate is interesting. No potatoes room. Right? Let's start making our way back to the submersible, which I don't think I can do from this area. Could load up the stern mode. We're gonna save the stern for another time, Milan, because we're just passing the 1 hour mark right now. Alcohol room. And there's the mast. And yeah, we're definitely going to do this again and explore the stern section at a later date, because I think we maxed out the bow then. Okay, well that's good. Then this is a perfect time to go ahead and stop it. So let me go ahead and put the ROV back, and we'll get a nice parting shot of the show. Yep, Moonser. Yep, great weather. That's awesome. It's gonna be pretty hot here from what this weekend, from what I gather. Come on, baby, go in there. There we go. All right, so there we go. Milan, I'm so glad you told me that thing about the about zooming in on the mouse. We can see so much more of the ship now. The only thing you can maybe check out is the A deck promenade. Not much to see there. Yeah, I believe I did that last time, but I mean, let's do the parting shot from the movie. How about that? So, there's a good question for you guys. Something to part with. Did what was your interpretation of the end scene of Cameron's movie? Did Was Rose dreaming what happened at the end of the movie, or did she die and go and actually go back to the ship in 1912? Wolf, you've actually never watched the movie? Wow, you're one of the few. But I mean, that makes sense. I know we don't have to keep saying it. You know, Titanic's not really your thing. Park the sub outside, and that's what I'm going to attempt to do, Wolf. I mean, Milan. Wolf, I don't really want to. That is my interpretation of it as well, Ozzy. It makes sense because like he tells her, you're gonna, I forget how he says it, but you're gonna die an old lady warm in her bed or something like that, and that was my interpretation of the end scene. So we all seem to be of that opinion. Ozzy thinks so. Milan thinks so. Karen also thinks so. So we all seem to be on the same page with that. No, I want to go back into the. There we go. The thing with the movie, Ozzy, she had the necklaces too. Oh, Milan, that was a brilliant idea, Milan. Look at this shot. Look at that. I got to get a screenshot of this. I'm gonna go find the angle that I want and get a screenshot of this. That's a great idea. Yeah, the thing with the movie Wolf is, and I know everyone complains about the campy love story, and I get that, but there's a lot to aside from that to like about the movie. How's that shot? What do you guys think? Scroll down so the arms of the ROV are not visible. Yeah, I just learned something else. What do you guys think of this view? Is this a good view? Or I shouldn't get the sub in the view, right? I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to try. Let's see. Trying to think how I can do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it without. How about that? No, I don't like that. I think the sub is just going to have to be in it. Of course, being a photographer and I have Photoshop, I can always just go into Photoshop and edit it out after the fact. I'm going to do it from both directions, Milan. We're going to do this way. And so let's do it, screenshot that way. We'll do this. Um, Wolf, while I'm thinking about it, and you might be able to get this on YouTube, I'm not sure. For a that is Wolf says that is really creepy, right? One thing, if you want a great Titanic movie, Wolf, A Night to Remember. A Night to Remember is freaking brilliant. There's no love story. It's just straight up, the ship and the story of the ship and the people on it. It was made off of Walter Lord's book of the same name, A Night to Remember. If you can find that movie, if that's the only Titanic movie you ever watch, you're good. That would be the one to watch. So I'm going to do one like that. And then this. Actually, this right here, guys, that might be my favorite shot right there. Wolf, I heard about that film. I highly, highly recommend A Night to Remember, Wolf. In fact, there's an older live stream I did a while back. I had a friend of mine that's in the Discord. He goes by Tim Writes Today in the Discord, and we discussed. We did a compare and contrast between A Night to Remember and Cameron's Titanic movie. It's a really good discussion. So if you're interested, you can go listen to that or watch that live stream. Oh, it's a great film, right? This is a beautiful shot, guys. Wow. I'm blown away by this shot. So, guys, before I wrap it up, I've got something I want to show you real quick. Wolf will try to remember to watch it at some point. Good. So, let me hit the lights, because I kind of like playing this in the dark. It just kind of adds to the mood. A Night to Remember was the first Titanic book I ever got, and I didn't realize for a while because they translated the title to Hungarian as The Demise of Titanic. So I didn't realize it was A Night to Remember. That's very interesting, Milan. I did not know that. Let me hit the lights real quick, guys. Okay, so I've got one thing I want to show you guys before we wrap it up for tonight. So, as I said when we started off the stream, we've got two of our Olympians right here, along with the Queen Mary. So, for the first time on the live stream, here is the hull for yard number 433. You can see she is coming along. So I have been working on 433. It's been a much, much slower process than Olympic and Titanic, of course. Ozzy, Alex, turn on the lights. Alexa, lights on. Actually, I don't have Alexa. Wolf, wow, Milan, Britannic. Yes, yes. There it is, guys. Support columns are in. The whole boat deck is flush, as she's supposed to be. Aft well deck is closed in like it's supposed to be. I am going to the model store tomorrow to buy some supplies so I can continue on this build, and hopefully this weekend will finally be the weekend where I can at least start to paint this thing, because that's been slowing me down a lot from a lot of the progress that I've made on it. So that's where I'm at for, that's part of my plans for this weekend. She looks beautiful, James. Great job on the hull extensions. Well, thank you, Milan. I appreciate that. Wolf says, nice. Thank you very much, Wolf. Appreciate that. So, guys, that's going to wrap up this week's stream. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun, interacting with you guys as always and exploring the ship. I know we were missing some of our regulars tonight, but it is Memorial Day weekend, so that's not a big surprise there. Having said all that, for all of you in the States, I hope you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. And Milan, I hope you have a great regular weekend as well. Wolf, great stream. Well, thanks, Wolf. I'm glad you liked it. So that's going to wrap it up for this week, guys. Have a great Memorial weekend. We'll see you back next Friday at the same time, same place as always. And until the meantime, drive safely.